Hey, welcome back. I'm on a trail that goes to Triple Falls down in the Columbia River Gorge, if you're familiar with it. It's where I'm at. I asked my brother for a good trail. He recommended this one. I'd not been on it. Not a big fan of cliffs. This thing's about 90% cliffs. I don't know why he sent me here, but here I am. Maybe it's appropriate, too, that there be a fear factor involved in this, too, because what we're talking about today is something that I don't necessarily think we need to be afraid of, but we need to be aware of, and we need to be concerned about. So we're going through the Book of Jude over the next 10 days. I think this day 6. And what we went through just last time was all these examples of times when men were wicked and they rebelled against God and how God destroyed them. And this whole letter is a warning that the Christian church has been infiltrated back then, today, everywhere in between, not just by wicked men who have ambition and do it for sexual gain or financial gain or power, but also demonic things have infiltrated the church as well. And this is what Jude's warning is, he talks about these times when angels would come in and they would just cause all sorts of chaos. Fallen angels. So we're just going to pick it up after that example that he gave of here's, like when these people rebelled, he destroyed them. When these people rebelled, he destroyed them. And then he talks about Moses and he says that, when Michael the archangel and the devil were fighting over his body, that Michael said, the Lord rebuke you, when he brought any sort of reviling accusation against him. And that's what we should strive for. So we're just going to pick it up right after that. We'll start in Jude 10. But these speak evil of whatever they do not know, and whatever they know naturally, like brute beasts, and these things they corrupt themselves. Woe to them, for they have gone the way of Cain, have run greedily in the error of Balaam for profit, and perished in the rebellion of Korah. These are spots in your love feasts. While they feast with you without fear, serving only themselves, they are clouds without water, carried about by the winds, late autumn trees without fruit, twice dead, pulled up by the roots. Raging waves of the sea, foaming up their own shame, wandering stars for whom is reserved the blackness of darkness forever. Now Enoch, the seventh from Adam, prophesied about these men also, saying, Behold, the Lord comes with 10,000 of his saints to execute judgment on all, to convict all who are ungodly among them of all their ungodly deeds which they have committed in an ungodly way, and of all the harsh things which ungodly sinners have spoken against him. Now, ultimately, what Jude is saying here is that there's blemishes. There's blemishes on your church. It is filled with spots. It's not clean. It is not this white garment that it should be. And this is something, as Christians, we have to open up our eyes to, which is why I believe Jude is so important at this period of time. These are spots on your love feasts, while they feast with you without fear, serving only themselves. This is... When I go to church, I see people serving others, but I would dare to say less than 5%. The other 95% or more are serving themselves. And Jude is identifying them here. There are clouds without water, carried about by the winds. There's nothing to them. They're there, but they have no purpose. And the wind just blows them about. There's no solid footing. Late autumn trees without fruit. They don't produce any fruit. They're dead. They're spiritually dead. You have to question when you see a church that isn't really producing any fruit, you have to question, well, what's going on? Because if the Spirit is there, there will be fruit. If the Spirit is there, there will be fruit. And if there's no fruit in the church, and I don't mean fruit like, I had 10 people come forward this year or this month or today. What I'm talking about is serving, like literally being out. Not just you opened your doors for the Sunday show and somebody came in and found Jesus. No. What I'm talking about is going out and seeking the lost, finding those people who need Jesus, serving the least of these. Late autumn trees without fruit, twice dead, pulled up by the roots, twice dead. Raging waves of the sea, foaming up their own shame. Wandering stars, for whom is reserved the blackness of darkness forever. This is the peace that we have to wake up. These wandering stars, these are demons. If you study out stars in Revelation, they're always talking about angels. Most of the time they're talking about fallen angels, specifically, that stars have fallen. And this is what they're saying here, is that wandering stars, these are demons, they're just wandering around and they're infiltrating the church. So they're taking over people. Now keep in mind that Mary Magdalene had 7 demons in her. And as we see in Jude, these people that have infiltrated, they're after sexual gain, they're after financial gain. They're there for division. And we're going to tomorrow talk about division, because what these people do is when you question them, they accuse you of division. It's a very narcissistic thing that they do. If you question anything they do, you're the divider. You're the one causing division. But these wandering stars, for whom is reserved the blackness of darkness forever. These are fallen angels, and God has reserved, He has reserved a place in darkness for them forever. Until the day of judgment, somewhere dark, some dark hole in the earth somewhere, is where these people are chained at, or these demons are chained at, bound at. The bottomless pit is another example of a prison. But they're wandering stars. They're just wandering around trying to kill, steal, and destroy. And as Christians, we have to begin to not be foolish to this stuff, be wise to it, to look at it and stare it in the eyes and say, you know what, this thing is not okay. They can accuse you of division, which they will. Jude is about to tell us this. But it's important that we begin to see this. 14. Now Enoch the 7th from Adam prophesied about these men also, saying, behold, the Lord comes with 10,000 of his saints, and we'll talk about them tomorrow, to execute judgment on all, to convict all who are ungodly among them of all their ungodly deeds which they have committed in an ungodly way, and of all the harsh things which ungodly sinners have spoken against them. And he's talking about that moment when Christ returns with the 10,000 angels. These are murmurers, complainers, walking according to their own lusts, and they mouth great swelling words, flattering people to gain advantage. But you, beloved, remember the words which were spoken before by the apostle of our Lord Jesus Christ, how they told you that there would be mockers in the last time who would walk according to their own ungodly lust. These are sensual persons who cause divisions, not having the Spirit. So, our churches are being run and dominated by these fallen stars, by these lost people in it for gain. They're dominated by it. I'd say 95%. And a lot of these people, kind of like Mary Magdalene, she didn't know she had demons in her. She just was doing these things, and these demons were whispering in her ear and telling her to do things. And she just went according to her lust, which is what the demons will tell you to do. But she had 7 of them in her. If she would have gone to church with those demons still in her, obviously Jesus cast them out. But if they were still there, it would have been a whole different story how she would have engaged with the church. Whole different story. So we have to watch out for these fallen stars. Their judgment is forever darkness. Know that. And these people that are falling for these lies, their punishment is the lake of fire. Know that. And the best thing we can do is point it out. And they'll accuse you of division, and that's okay. That is okay. It has to be pointed out. I feel like that's all I'm doing on this channel lately, is just pointing at stuff. Look over there, point it out. It's important we do. So I hope these videos are helping. I hope they're a blessing to you. They've definitely been a blessing to me. I'm going to get down off this cliff here. I don't mind the uphill walks, just not a big fan of the cliffs. But it's sure beautiful, and it's rainy, and we better get on down. It's about a 1.8 mile walk. So, all right, we'll see you tomorrow.